Winter Storm Enzo has started to take over the United States. Over the next day or two, we will be talking about what will happen through those areas in southern Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, also into Georgia and Florida, and also about the northeast snowfall that is happening right now. Just taking a look for today, we can see the convection in Florida is continuing as we've seen in the past few models. Up here in the north, just really getting a bunch of snow. The snow squalls can be very hard to see right now. Just very heavy snow in the northeast. Even some parts of Ohio getting some heavy snow as of right now. And just moving forward, just a bunch of these areas will continue to get a lot more snow as we move forward. And again, parts of Ohio getting some more snow squalls. And once again, we will talk about the parts of Illinois, Indiana, just parts of Kansas, Oklahoma, and Missouri. National Weather Service has already issued some winter storm warnings and watches and some advisories into the parts of these areas. This is in effect until Tuesday in some areas of the more eastern counties. And of course, there is the Northeast winter storm warnings and advisories continuing on for the storms for them. A little bit of winter storm advisory here inside of Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas. But moving forward, we can see that will be more in effect later. I think the main thing that we want to talk about here is these areas in the south, since this is such a rare storm. And just moving forward, we will talk about that a little more. So let's get into it right now. Moving through, the Arctic blast is taking parts of the nation as we see quite the big low surface winds in parts of the east. Tomorrow, we can see the winds blowing through very smoothly and nice, getting all that Arctic air through parts of Texas into the southern counties. And just continuing on with that, we do get quite the boundary, just heat wave after heat wave, giving an opening for more Arctic air to blow through. And even with that, we can see that there will be a little bit of relief on the 24th. Quite the bit of a flow could bring some severe storms. We do want to take interest in that. And of course, just moving forward, do get a bit of a low pressure unit into California and Nevada. And of course, this could be the start of our severe storms of the year. Some parts of North Carolina, Alabama, and Georgia could be in the best parts for effect of this storm sector. And of course, just moving forward, we do get some relief. For some of the outlook that we can see in precipitation, we will continue on with this into tomorrow. We can see the start of the snow starting about 6 a.m. tomorrow. Most likely, this is probably not going to be accurate as much as we may think. But just starting off, we can see that some parts of Texas are already getting the snow that we are expecting, and just a little bit of rain in the south side of the portions of the state. And moving forward with that, we did see that little bit of snow convection, some sleet, some mixed precipitation also possible, and just more going into the southern states and parts of southern Florida getting some rain. The northern parts getting more of some rain, but some of it's getting sleet. We will see if that will prompt any types of marginal risk, probably just thunderstorms. And of course, we are getting that little bit of that lake effect snow in the north still moving forward. And just going through our week, we do see this little bit of snow right here in the parts of Virginia and North Carolina. As we move forward with this model, we can see a little bit of snow entering the US as we do get this little bit of a heat front with this little bit of storm sectors. And just continuing with that, we do get our about third winter storm into parts of Ohio and West Virginia in this model. And of course, we do get that southern precipitation of rain. And just another one right off the bat, getting more snow in the north, in the south, getting those severe storms. And we are not sure if these will prompt any types of risk, but of course, we will continue to look forward to that. Into late in early January, we can see the storm pop up. Quite the bit of convection. And just going forward, this model does show a huge amount of rain and precipitation in the south and in the north. A big thing of freezing rain, snow, and sleet, as there is the low pressure system that is making the blizzards in the north. And continuing on with the rest of the model, we do see quite a bit of more storms, while the south is getting more and more snow. And finally, just ending off the model with a little bit of a ridge. Now, temperatures will be very high at points and very low at other points. So let's just see how that can go. Just starting off, we are seeing a big burst of cold air continuing on inside the northeast area. And that will end up spreading more south as we continue on though. And as we are having our little cold down effect in the central plains, we can see in the west they are getting quite the heat wave as this all goes on. That's really probably they're all gonna get. But as we do move on, they do get their shot of their cold air as the east does get their shot of the warm. And of course, we can see this little bit of the heat wave starting up. Going forward with this model, we can see that there is a bit of a back and forth effect. Some parts getting cold, some parts getting warm, and just other parts kind of getting that in between. We can see as we continue on, the south will be primarily more warm as the north does get quite the big cold blast to end off our January into February. So as for the snow depths that we have had in the past few weeks, we can see that a lot of Canada is very high in those depths, while the United States, the Northeast, primarily takes over that. And everywhere in Montana, Idaho, and even parts of Colorado and in between, they're all getting quite a bit of snow to continue and last. Any parts of Kansas, all kind of just keeping their snow that they have been getting. They've had it for a while, to be honest, but moving forward, we can see the new snow totals that will be coming for them. So as for our last model, this will be our 24-hour snow outlook. This will show how much snow comes between the 24-hour period, and after that 24 hours, it will disappear and reset. So moving forward with this model, we can see that the snow in the south, starting on the 22nd, is starting off quite a bit of snow, already up to 9 or more inches inside the south. And moving forward with that model, we just see that the south does lose it by the next day. By the next day, they should have no snow, or at least barely any. That the north does get their little bit of more snow, of course, is continuing their big and great winter journey for this year. Very high precipitation amounts. We can see a little bit of snow into Oklahoma, some parts of the east getting a big ton of snow. And of course, and finally, just moving on with the rest of the year, we're going to go through this. Just a bit of more snow in the east. We did see this little bit inside of Mexico and New Mexico just coming down. Parts of Texas getting into that. As for that, that's all I really have for y'all today. And I'll continue to get y'all updates. And maybe we'll go live for the snowstorm. We'll see. And I'll make sure to get you guys more updates on the severe storms that are to come. And just make sure I can keep y'all updated. Make sure you guys subscribe. You guys hit the like button. And just hit those notifications on so you guys can be updated. And just thank you guys for all the support.